Before we get into the second weekend of the spring split, you got to take care of the emerging regions elsewhere out in the world that played alongside NA this past weekend. So it's MENA, OCE, and APAC. We're going to start with MENA since they played on Thursday and Friday instead of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just quick recaps for all these guys, nothing too crazy. Big takeaways here. Sites losing round one, something that they should not do. And Cola, which is Nupo, which is I think how Fear pronounces his name, NWPO. I'm not fully sure I pronounce it, but you know, whatever. Ollie and Venom are two players from Jogo Bonita, whichever one, picked up Venom from ex-Falcons, who then were empty, which is now Veloce, as you can see right here. They did really well this tournament, so they could play spoiler for 01 Esports, Sites, Kings, maybe even Veloce in the future, since Cola did show that they could beat Veloce at some point in this tournament. Just shows that MENA's deep. MENA's got 6 teams that can make runs, basically. Anka had a good tournament, obviously losing to 01 Esports in a 4-0 sweep. Not something I would expect out of them. I'd say this series could go minimum 6 most often than not. Just maybe they ran out of steam after losing to Falcons. Ahmed, Tier K, Okal, they're still them dudes. So pretty normal stuff for MENA aside from Cola. Veloce does get the revenge bracket, lower bracket final against them, advancing to the grand final against Falcons, which they eventually lose. There are 2 spots in MENA available for the World Championship wildcard, and I think Veloce has a really good chance at solidifying themselves as the second best team in this region behind Falcons. They are second in standings right now. They just overtook 01 Esports for that spot though. So I think they're going to continue to improve with Senzo in a starting role now with Twiz and SMW. I think this team is going to be great going forward. Now we're on to OCE. The talk of the town was Direwolves picking up Hawk and how that's going to work out for them. And then they get beat by Finn, Kaka, and Shores of X-Bright Gaming, Kaka's minions now. Tango is now playing with Ground Zero Gaming. And you might be wondering, Ground Zero Gaming? Yeah, they dropped Amphis, Torsos, and Express, which let Power kind of take them. So Power is no longer in NA. They are now in OCE Rocket League, which makes sense because Lachlan, you know, he's from the Oceania region, and it just makes sense. Power had a really great tournament. Looked like they're back to their true form, I would say. They had a rough start to the winter split, seeing them start off the spring split on a good foot by beating Renegades in the grand final 4-1 pretty convincingly is really great for them. Other notable things here, like I said, Kaka's minions beat Direwolves. They upset Pioneers, I would say. And then they fizzle out towards the end, losing 4-1 to Power in the upper bracket, and then lower bracket final they lose to Renegades as well, 4-1. So Kaka's minions playing spoiler for Pioneers and Dire Wolves, preventing both of them from advancing further in the tournament, essentially. But I fully expect Pioneers and Dire Wolves to overtake them in the standings going into the rest of the split, but we'll see. Overall, good stuff, though, from OCE. Power and Renegades, the top 2 right now. I could definitely see Pioneers, Dire Wolves, or even, like I said, Kaka's minions sneaking in there as well. Same thing with the 3-1-2s, Siki, Mock, and Sprat. This team could play spoiler. Same thing with like Team Bliss, like they did in the previous split to help Pioneers. I could see like Kaka's minions, 3-1-2s, and Team Bliss playing spoiler against any of those top 4 teams. So OCE getting a little bit deeper.
Too, because they expected the fast play.
And then we moved to APAC South, and for the first time in the entirety of the RLCS 2021-2022 season, Gaming Gladiators, you know, former Pulse Clan, former 3 Rats, lost in a grand final. Meta Power, which is Slot Machine, who was formerly Dark Rift Esports, has Belaris, Poofy, and Kevin, beat Gaming Gladiators in Abs Crazy's debut tournament with them. 4-3 in the first series of the grand final, and then they get the bracket reset 4-0. Lots of good depth showing in this region right now. 1620 Kings is the former roster, obviously lost Abs Crazy, so it's tough to see how they're going to play out. Still, they take a top 6, which is good for them. Asian Manji getting top 6, Godspeed getting a top 3, Asphyx's minions, which is Asphyx, Chaotic, and Rez, get a top 4. Chaotic is the player that Abs Crazy is replaced on Gaming Gladiators. So just some depth, right? That's what we asked for in the emerging regions, is just some depth, essentially. But I don't expect Gaming Gladiators to go anywhere. They're going to be back full force in Spring Regional 2, and it's LCT, Maxuse, and Abs Crazy's debut as a team together. They'll be fine. They're still probably going to represent APAC South in the World Championship wildcard. It would be a big stretch for them to not do that, so don't panic yet for the Gaming Gladiators, but Meta Power are your Regional 1 champions in APAC South. But that's the emerging regions all taken care of, guys. Tomorrow we will see some predictions for the EU Regional 1 Dacia Spring Cup. But until then, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.